Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Bo. Good morning. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I was chanting along with this yesterday. I thought, I wonder what those guys are experiencing chanting. It was pretty good. It's got a nice little. It's fun. Yeah, worked out good. Surprising. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hey Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bo, everybody. Wow, I feel freshening up now. What a nice taste in my mouth. Oh, my mouthwash. Krishna, you gotta go. Krishna every day. Get your mouth clean. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama. He's the best mouthwash. Mint flavor. Peppermint. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Oh my Lord. Woo. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh my Lord, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Oh my, oh gee whiz. Oh. Hare Krishna My God, this is like kissing God. Truly, I swear to God, it's like kissing Krishna. I didn't have any idea it was like this. The soul to the Supreme Soul, kissing the Lord that close. That must be Gopi mood or something, huh? What do you think? Naturally occurring, That's amazing. It is amazing grace here, man. Whoa. Can you imagine just chanting as kissing God? Oh my God. Should we even speak of that? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No wonder the Lord was chanting all the time, man. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama. Oh. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama. Oh, Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna. Oh, it gets better every day, my friend. Wow. Oh, my Lord. Krishna. Oh, my Lord, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Whew, this is intense. Let's take a little break here.
Thanks for using.
Wow. Unbelievable. This is fantastic, man. Thank you, Lord Chaitanya, and thank you, Prabhupada, for bringing this name here. Could you imagine we wouldn't have any access to this if he didn't come across the ocean? You know, old man, 70 years old, heart attacks. Krishna did a real miracle, man. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you for that order, man. Wow. It's so nice to get to a bit of, like, to understand a little bit of why Lord Chaitanya came here and what gift he came to give. It's this, you know, even a drop of that, it just increases. Can you imagine what he understood about the glories of the name? And we can start to begin to understand. You know, Sanatan said this was his greatest treasure. You know, and I can relate to that. It's like, yes, this is the treasure, man. The name of God, man. Wow. Whew. I am stoned. Loose lips sink ships. Man, when you get drunk, you know, loose lips sink ships. And the ship we sink is Maya, illusory potency. Isn't that fun to blast? It's like being a warrior. I love that warrior spirit, man. So many varieties of devotional service, man. I got my little conjugal in now. I want to Bhagavatam. I want to get Karuna angry. Bhagavatam Gita. I love that book. Yeah, I love it. The basic. It's called basic training. Isn't it nice, Tom? You know, basic thing, man. Please see what's going on, you know. Yeah. I mean, why shouldn't we read it? Prabhupada took all that trouble to write the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Why shouldn't we partake of that? That would be really offensive, you know. And Lalita Ganga, you want to watch all the Gopi stuff, man, go to her. She gets to get the nectar, and I have to do the work here. She does the nectar thing. You go watch Govinda Leelamrita and all this thing. Watch her cry and ecstasy. That's her work. You know? I like this stuff. Oh, I like it. I like a little of the other two.
I like everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, yes. Okay. Here we go. Hare Krishna. Let's see. Let's go. Vidura's conversation comes to my mind here a little bit. Vidura. Where is that? Is that in here? Yeah. Hare Krishna. What is this here? Questions by Vidura. This is chapter 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, first canto, second chapter 10. Bhagavatam answer to all questions. I like that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Agyanati Mirandasya.
Can you please repeat what was Canto 1, you say?
Canto 1, chapter 2, and verse 10.
Thank you.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions. Let's put this up like this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions. Of statements regarding the following: the creation of the universe. Actually, you know what? I can get Prabhupada's book here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. 1, 2, 10. Is that right? 1, 2. No. What did I do here? Okay. Oh, Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Oh, is it? Oh, did I say second canto?
You said Canto first Canto.
Oh, okay. I think it's second canto.
Okay.
Canto 2. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and chapter 10. Yeah. Yeah, chapter 10. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, here we are. Shukadev Goswami said, yeah, mute your mics, everybody. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, in the Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions. Is everybody's mic muted? Sri Sukadev Goswami said, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions. You know what? No. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll just read. Regarding following creation of the universe, subcreation, planetary systems, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of manus and the science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and the summum bonum. Okay, what is going on here? To isolate transcendence. Why is there no purport here? I guess not. Okay, to isolate the transcendence of the summum bonum, the symptoms of the rest are described sometimes by Vedic inference. I'm sorry, I'm not into this one. This chapter is too much. Let's try the next. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Canto 3, Questions by Vidura, Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Text 1. Shukadev Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidura, the great devotee, asked this question of His Grace Maitreya. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Let's take this off here. Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it were his own, and he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. See, Duryodhana wasn't a devotee. Vidura was. He was surrendered. See, this surrender. You welcome the Lord, and the Lord comes to your house. Isn't that nice? Very easy. The Lord and Jesus was like that too. When he told Peter, who said, "Why are you going into a sinner's house?" In other words, people think you got to be qualified to get God. See, but when God comes to you and you just welcome Him, boom, you get the gift. Isn't that amazing? See? That's it. That is the secret of secrets that they don't teach in anywhere out there in Vaishnavism or often in Christianity, because they don't know how the Lord rolls, how He works. The Lord used to go in Vidura's house just like it was His own. Why? Because Vidura welcomed him. See? Duryodhana was not a devotee. He didn't have devotion to the Lord. That's how simple it is. You want devotion to the Lord. First of all, now practically you have to meet a real devotee of the Lord that actually welcomes the Lord. See? And people don't know who that Lord is. That's the problem. He's very ecstatic. See, he has devotion. He cries and laughs and, he's carefree. He's very conclusive, very truthful. He's very welcoming to demons or demigods or anybody who will welcome him. See? So he came 500 years ago. He came also as Jesus Christ. Who welcomed him got the boon, right? Isn't that it? Can you imagine? You don't do it by your own strength and how great you are. That's false ego stuff. No, the bottom line is, can you recognize how the Lord is coming to you? Now, practically, He's coming in discipline. You got to meet a real devotee who really represents that transcendental Lord. Okay? So Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Bhaktivinoda, the Lord was coming to them, and people accepted. But you see, they held back. They didn't want to show the full truth about who God is. And express the full truth. They were writing, put it in there. And people still don't understand. I had this guy who was quoting from Bhaktisiddhanta, Janaki's friend, quoting from Bhaktisiddhanta. Didn't understand any of it. Thought he did. See, this is the thing. They think they understand. No, you have to meet people who welcome the Lord, and the Lord is going in and out of their house, like freely. I think He does that here, doesn't He? Radha and Krishna come in and out. We welcome them. We know who they are. Anybody else wants to know? Because most people, they don't show me the symptoms that they know. They don't show that. You have to have these symptoms, man, that you are an ecstatic person, that you like the Lord so much that He's very close, and you are ecstatic as He is, and you show that to the world. If you're showing to the world and not hiding it. That's the whole point. Why people from Prabhupada's time till now still don't know, because he was hiding. And then and everybody thinks, oh, you see, continue to hide God. Continue. Let's just do that forever. Because Prabhupada did it 50 years ago. Well, let's go back 550 years ago, and Lord Chaitanya didn't hide much. And Nityananda never hid, because he got the order not to hide, just like I got the order not to hide. That's why people are becoming ecstatic. They're getting prema, not having to wait many lifetimes. I mean, to be honest, okay, Narayan Raj was up there and he was going like this. I was there a year and a half. I didn't see, he didn't, because he said he was holding, okay, but he was holding it back. Can you tell? If you hold yourself back, even as a person, okay, is people going to really know you? Say inside I have these things going on. I'm very emotional, really ecstatic, and I got a lot of knowledge, and information, all that. And I go and I meet you, and very quick, and you don't know how I feel. You don't know what I'm thinking, right? That's Narayan Raj. I mean, that's what he did. I was watching there. And everybody's thinking, wow, he's really holding back Krishna. He's really holding back devotion. He's really holding it back. And now people see it now and they get angry at me. Then they're, what is this? You're not supposed to do that. Wipe the tear. What is this? See, they don't welcome that. And what did Narayan Raj say? Many lifetimes before you'll get prema. That was his preaching. Okay, that's fine. But that's the message, many lifetimes. See, the message is not, no, it's coming. Yeah, go ahead there, Lily. You want to
A real devotee can't hold it back.
I can't hear you.
Oh, it's with you because I'm
Is it
not
me?
here. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's me. Can you hear her there, Tom? Yeah, okay. So it's me. Let me have to change my mic here. I mean my headphone. That's the problem here. Okay. Audio input, audio output. Let's try headphones. Headset. Speakers. Okay, say something now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, working.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. But a real devotee cannot hold it. You're enthusiastic. First of all, this ecstasy works. Krishna wants out. And when you're preaching, you're so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
That's why I have fights, for instance, with Balaram. I can't hold.
Yeah.
I know the truth and I'm telling the truth and I don't want to hear the lower preaching. I don't want to hear it anymore. So you start to fight for Krishna.
Yeah. Now it's about, whoever wants intimacy. I mean, that's what it's all about. Whoever really wants intimacy, like here, this is where the kind of place you get it. It's nice to be yourself. It's nice to be close to Krishna and to share that, because that's why the Lord came here. He came here to give the gift of ecstatic devotion. He said, for a long time, I have not given this to the world. And so now it's time to give that to the world. I mean, otherwise, I wouldn't be happy. That's why I came here. That's why I'm in this world. Yeah. And you guys wouldn't be either. That's probably why you came here too, Yeah. So, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. According to the Gaudiya Acharya, Achintya Beta Beta Tattva philosophy, anything which satisfies the senses of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is also Krishna. That's interesting. Anything that satisfies the senses of the Lord, and that's chanting His name satisfies the senses of the Lord, and so that's Krishna. Especially when a devotee is chanting. See, so they're simultaneous. Achintya Beta Beta Tattva. That's why the Lord accepts a Vidura on any devotee like that. Comes and goes in their house or their temple. There you want darshan, you have to go to the devotee. Because they chant the whole name. See, anything. What is this? Let me read that again. That was so good. It satisfies the senses of the Lord. When you eat a good meal, you feel satisfied. See, when you're chanting Hare Krishna, that's like I was saying, it was like, who wouldn't be? When you kiss a woman or a man, and you love them, what is satisfaction, isn't it? Feel like, wow, this is fantastic. This is great. You just want to do more. You just smooch, smooch, smooch. And this is chanting holy name it's that intimate. When the devotion awakens and you're chanting, you're satisfying the sense of the Lord with every chant, with every name. See? And you experience that. And it's like, well, and it's like you're doing it, but actually, and you're being satisfied, but you're actually being satisfied because the Lord in your own heart is satisfied. You don't even think about it. You're so absorbed in this kissing business. Who cares who's there? You, me, I don't know. We're both happy. Who cares? So just let's kiss, let's chant. Intense. They're attentive chanting is easy at that point. Get very absorbed. See, if anybody wants this kind of relationship, this kind of intimacy, you have to go to those who really have it. Otherwise, it's not available. Yeah. Or those who have it and get the order too. I mean, Prabhupada wasn't just freely showing everybody these, or Bhakti Siddhanta or Bhakti Vinod. But we are more, just people can get it. You got to understand, this. It's got to be shown sometime. Obviously, it's time because people are coming, and like this. They're the oddballs usually. Like Amy was telling me, no, nobody accepted me. I didn't I didn't feel like I belonged here, and stuff like that. Yeah. You're just waiting for your tribe to come. Yeah. So, yeah. Sri Vrindavan Dham is non-different from Sri Krishna because at Vrindavan, the Lord enjoys transcendental bliss of his internal potency. See? So the Lord comes here to teach us how to also enjoy the bliss of the internal potency. How can you learn to enjoy the bliss of the internal potency unless you meet a person enjoying the bliss of the internal potency? That's the expert. That's the bona fide spiritual master. If you're not like that, an ecstatic prema is not emanating from you, and by your word, telling people as it is, like right now, this second, this millisecond, how can you share that information, that knowledge, that truth with others? Come on, man, let's get real. Anybody greedy to go back to Vrindavan, you need an expert like that you can see with your own eyes, that they're the real deal. And because otherwise I'd be doubtful. I was well, I don't know. Maybe he is. Who knows? But it wasn't being distributed, right? Holding it back. I don't know. No, they still don't know. Hey, they'll come and look at this. Oh, that can't be Krishna. My guru never showed that. Yeah, you don't know what he showed. Hey, therefore, you don't know that this is real. So that's why you don't know. In Maya and Vaishnavism, who the heck knows? There's a lot of stuff hiding the real Radha and Krishna, man. The topmost realization. Better just go where it is, right? Where it's, where you can learn about it. Yeah. The Lord wants to be known now in this Kali Yuga. See, so that we're here. Otherwise, if you don't know who and what the Lord actually is, what is his actual emotion? He said, the supreme personality of God can only be known by this intimate relish of his qualities. And see, like even now, tasting these qualities by discussing them. Remember yesterday, the talks, discussion, in relationship to Krishna are for the welfare of others, and I was really getting into it. And then Karuna comes on and said, "Blah, blah," when I left, "Blah, blah, what does this kill me, Gopi Bob, and all this stuff?" He's thinking about himself. That's what he needs to be purified, man. People like that. Karuna, you need purification, man. You're thinking about you selfish thinking. People need to hear these things. Can you imagine? This is topmost revelation. Let's see what he has to say about that. People need to have a bridge. This is why Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavatam. Very relishable to talk how Krishna relates to this world. Otherwise, people, there's no learning. You won't learn. You won't ever understand the Lord. Yeah, you won't ever have the happiness of God if you can't relish everything about it. Lord Chaitanya, you think he was always in it? No, he used to repeat stories about Prahlad Maharaj, discuss him. Gadadhar read him stories about Prahlad and all his different devotees, and he would relish these different things. They're his devotees. That's a devotee. They have different moods. Like I have different. Sometimes I want to just do this. I want to do this. It's great. Variety, spice of life. Yeah. Prabhupada was like that too. He because some of his devotees were like, "Oh yeah, let's just go into gopi stuff, gopi stuff, gopi stuff." He said, "Hey man, not only that, we can. All these topics are relishable." Yeah. Okay, so Vrindavan Dham is non-different from Sri Krishna, because at Vrindavan the Lord enjoys the transcendental bliss of his internal potency. Similarly, the house of the Pandavas was also the source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. And it's mutual, isn't it? See, the Lord gets bliss from his devotees, and the devotee gets bliss from the Lord. This is Krishna consciousness. This is how to become conscious of Krishna. Personally, happiness being with the Lord, and he's happy to be with you. I have this rendezvous every day. Don't we? We're all rendezvousing with the Lord here every day, just like Vrindavan. It's fantastic, isn't it? He shows up, we show up, he shows up. Ah. Similarly, the house of the Pandavas was also the source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. It is mentioned here that the Lord identified the house with his own self. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. House out there also. Yeah. Identifies the house as his own. That's the bona fide guru. Oh, Shama-san. 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 Is this too basic for you, this talk here?
No, I was listening actually. I'm going in 20 minutes to work,
Oh,
but I was listening and I like those topics so much, and I agree so much with you about this relationship and with Lalita, what she said, that when someone lives in God, then you cannot resist to talk about him. Last month I was invited to some workshop to talk about my
yeah.
yoga and so on, and I end up with Krishna all the time,
Really? Wow.
because I did yoga, I told my story, and always I go, okay, but it would not be possible if I would not be connected and so on. And I was started to talk what it gives me, how it on and so on, and the people are always like whoa, 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 and then it's very conclusive. Like we were talking lately. Okay, I have just 20 minutes. I want to hear and look at you. So
You sure? You don't want to share? If you want, you can
thank you
share.
so much.
Yeah.
I can share just I am super happy. I mean, I cultivate my relation from morning to evening, and it's the biggest pressure. It's beautiful, and it makes you humble, and it makes you like you want to help other people because you see this is what lacks in their life, and yeah.
Yeah.
I won't hear. I won't listen.
Okay. Well, good. Thank you for sharing there. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. All right. Let's go on. All right. So, thus, the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan. See, there you go. The house of the Pandavas. That, again, see, when I ever hear house outside, see, I see internally now. I just everything I see is codes. You know, of course, the Lord enjoys the house of a devotee, but the house. This is the house. See, this is non-different from Vrindavan. When you're when you're when Radha and Krishna, devotion to Krishna is there in the body of a devotee, there you go. You found the real house of the Lord. You found Vrindavan. Because it's just like Shama-san was saying. She over there, she got invited, and she's speaking about things in her life in relationship to Krishna. See, and people start to get like, "Wow, what is this? This is very different," and they probably like hearing it. Because they invited her. They invite the devotee, welcome the devotee. That's how you learn. That's how anybody learns about Krishna. It's a disciplic line. She learned here, you know, about these things, intimate things. Yeah, you could tell, it feels really good, for her to express herself and express what she's into and her passion, and people listening. You know, that's how it is for me or any devotee. When there's room for your word in people. People welcome it, man. See, if they welcome you, they're welcoming the Lord. Jesus taught this principle. This is the line. If anybody welcomes what we're doing here, you're going to get what we're doing here. If anybody welcomes this teaching that comes through here, they're welcoming the Lord's teaching, because this teaching comes not from memorized all this stuff. No, but Krishna, right there, Shama-san. A lot of kissing, lot of smooching. Shama-san knows what I'm talking about. Smooching with a beautiful counterpart. See? Yeah. See, and that's what you're going to get, man. You're going to get real knowledge and real understanding how to go back to Godhead like that. Yes. So, yeah, I love this purport. See, this Prabhupada. He was in, what I like about Prabhupada is he was writing these purports in ecstasy. I pick right up on that, just like Lalita. See, she picks up on the ecstasy of devotees. See, that's the gift we get. Prabhupada's writing all that, did all that work, writing in ecstasy and all that. And we go in here and we can just pick it up, taste the ecstasy in these purports. That's what I pick up, man. This is what you get from a devotee, man. This is the dust of a devotee. Let me have the dust of a devotee. Well, I got it right here, man. This is his dust.
Okay.
It dusts off the Maya too. When it dusts off illusion, right there, Shama-san. Dust all the Maya off, man. Whatever you pick up out there,
Yeah. This is like you said, getting that we are learning here how to getting back to God. But I think, listen to you, it's you are not getting anywhere. It's there. It is
it's
there.
here.
It will stay. This is sure, settled. But now I see the Karuna's comments, and I would you relate to it, because I don't understand his behaves. He triggers me so much, but I don't understand why. I think he has Sophie mind's problem, his own problem, Sophie traumas, but he's first to express his mind about your preaching. Maybe
Okay,
can you
yeah, good.
see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
meaning?
Okay, let's relate. Let's see what he's saying. I didn't. Sometimes he says a lot of things I don't read. Okay, so let's see. You are creating a religion. Sadly, it's going to happen, and it is happening. You, not in particular, but those around you. This is what happens when you, all these. This is what happens. Um, the, oops. Uh, You're in but those around you. This is what happens when all these little jivas come over you and have to give the ABCs. Yeah, you see, this is the thing. You have another opinion. This is the problem. This is why the devotees here, including River, can relish this preaching, because they like this opinion, because this is how you get it. This is they're seeing that this opinion is Krishna's opinion. I'm seeing it. I mean, I'm behind this. That's why I start to relish it. And how you could see by your deeds and activities, or anybody like that, when you develop another opinion about this preaching, that's how it is. You just like, it doesn't, you can't taste it. Isn't it? Are you tasting this stuff here? I'm tasting it. You're tasting it. We're happy, right? Karuna's
I'm
not. He
super
said,
happy.
no, it's not.
I have this from morning till evening. I can, fulfill my life with great things, and some mercy flows to me, and I can realize myself. But and I have my own relation, but I don't forget that it came from here. I put
Yeah,
my ears every time when I have, and when he's talking that yes, my opinion differs, but he's like an energy sucker. Why he's here? He's here, but he,
yeah,
very
yeah.
subtle. He conquer your preaching.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You
this
see,
is
that's
something
and
wrong
that's
here.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is see now. If we go to chapter 12, he's this is an example of the false followers. See, and that's why people sometimes well, see, maybe he's a real follower because he's okay. I'm here to help Karuna if you want to be a real follower. Otherwise, you have that opinion that this is the way it is, and you have controversy with Guru. You're saying, oh well, you should be preaching like me. Okay, great. So we're going to get River to join the discussion. This is actually really important. It's actually really good. This is how we strengthen our understanding. And they had the same difficulty back then. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, this idea is, and that's why you can't relish if you start thinking like that. So if it depends, if you want to be like that, then you basically should start your own movement. If you have another opinion, you know.
Mm.
Um, I mean, when I say another opinion, it's like you can't relish this stuff. You can't relish it. I mean, that's all you're going to get here from me is the ability to taste these things.
You get me through there.
Yeah. Did you want to say anything, River? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do actually. I want to say quite a lot.
Okay.
The devotees don't know Karuna fully. I know he does all of that stuff. God, I'm probably the who gets it the most, right?
Yeah.
But they
Okay.
don't know his other side.
Uh-huh.
They don't know what he does to help me to stay alive and
Uh-huh.
to feel better. I'm in a wheelchair right now, going for a walk,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't walk
Uh-huh.
and I'm not able to talk for very long.
Okay.
He does those things, and I can see it clearly. You can see it clearly.
Yeah.
So can Lalita. I don't know about the other devotees, how clearly they can see it. I'm
Uh-huh.
not disrespecting anybody, but you know what? He does it to purify people, But he's at a standard where it's like child. Let me just. For me, I mean, he's listening. It's like in a child mind, when children would just say anything at any time, Karuna says he gets really excited when this kind of stuff happens, and he gets excited, and he told me he cannot help it. And I understand that, because sometimes I cannot help certain things as well myself. You know, yeah, it seems like Karuna wants to start his own movement, but you know, he's running around the house for you, Maharaj, trying to find this avenue and trying this thing and trying to buy this thing to get you out there everywhere. You know, and I do know that if he listened to you, he would get this bhakti. But this is what he wants to do, Maharaj. You know, he wants to just get your name everywhere possible, and he spends a lot of time doing that. And I know he does all the other things, you know. And Maharaj, I can see that smile on your face. You know, Maharaj. You know, if he was that bad, you would kick him the fuck out the sangha, right?
Kick
and
his ass.
not let him. Yeah, you would. And you know, you said it yourself the other day. The devotees need to know that he's so sweet. You melt, and even Lalita knows that. You melt. He has something.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, all the devotees going on, well, you don't kick him out, Maharaj. Yeah, so leave it. If the guru's not going to do it, then what's the point?
Yeah.
They don't see what he does. They don't see what he does all the other time. Yes, he does my head in. Not so much now, right?
Yeah.
But the devotees need to know he's on it all the time, thinking of you, listening to things, you know, to try and get, you know. You're laughing, you know that, Maharaj. You're laughing. He does it to purify all of us without you know, people get upset. Purification, Shama. You know, I know it's not nice, and he acts the way he does, you know. But you should see him talk. Get to know the whole of him.
Yeah,
you know, the whole of him. You know, and will he change? We all need to grow up. You know, if we say it to Karuna, we all need to grow up as well. You know, Maharaj, Lalita, maybe not, but we need to grow. I know that I have similar traits to Karuna and what he does, but I don't do all of them. My energy doesn't allow me to do all of them, but I have similar traits. I see myself in Karuna in certain ways, but in a little way where I can, you know, I'm not going to do that. It's not the right time and place. Things like that, you know, I can little bit more grown up, but we all need to grow up. You know, if I say it to myself, him, we say it to all of ourselves, and it helps us. We get through things. You know, devotees get through purification. It's a horrible sting, and it may last for a few days, but then it fizzes away. It fizzes away. Now I get stings of Karuna, and they fizz away quite a lot. Maybe things like that. Anyway, that's it. Hi, Shama. And and Lisa. There's me done. Thank you for
good.
listening.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, you know, what do you think, Shama-san?
I think she loves him.
You know what? I realized I do. Yeah, I do. But I never would tell him before, ever. It's only recently just changed. And it's changed him a little bit.
I think she has right that he has some strange devotion to Guru Maharaj, and everything what she said is right. He triggers, and this triggers sadly purifies, and I have nothing against him, absolute. I try to not give him energy, but I think he has some mental problems as well. And he has no control over himself, and he's doing irrational things, which I mean, I don't want to judge. I see sometimes I let purify myself. I wish him the best, you know. I think I know some answers for his problems. Maybe he should, I don't know, work more with his mindset and feel like maybe work. And it's everything is okay. He's sweet also. He's very funny. He's our joker. But he's doing also things which I won't accept. I will not accept. And in form, I will not give my energy to this guy. Just now I saw and I wanted to Guru relates. You love him, Sangha loves him, everything is okay. But
I've told him already he has something going off with him. And he finds it hard to understand certain things. Won't believe me. He's listening. He won't believe me. What's the point? You know, and why are we going to shove somebody like that away who does have maybe something, you know, just a strange, you know, kind of being, You know,
Well, it's
I
always,
understand what you go
yeah,
through.
yeah.
I do understand.
It's not easy to accept people, because we are all different, So, and and it's just like Karuna's expressing himself, Shama-san's expressing herself, I'm expressing my, we're just being ourselves. We'll just have to see how it all works out. Huh?
This is like irrational. He says, so don't accept, don't speak, even when Guru asks me. But if you don't want to be spoken about you, why you put yourself in the middle of attention all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
over and
yeah,
over and
yeah,
over and over?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then when it's something coming up, then resistance.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah,
Where is
I
you?
mean, exactly. I mean, people are going to be themselves. I mean, when if he's like, I go and take a little walk yesterday, and then he goes and says, and I listen back and I think, so there's a response. I respond to that. So that's my response. And like here, he's saying all these things. I should, and this is my response. Anyway, he's who he is. I'm who I am. Let's just see how it works. Shama-san's, we just see how it works out. That's all. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I also noticed that thing. He's got a, like a kind of his own opinion about this stuff. Like all I know is I like this. I like to talk about this stuff. And that's just my thing. If you don't like to hear, you don't have to hear it. You know, or want to like change my preaching. I have to do what he wants him to do, and he doesn't like. I'm sorry, you don't like this, Karuna. You can't really. Too bad. Go and you don't have to be. You don't have to listen to this. There's a lot of places to go. And you can go and listen to Lolita. She likes to. That's her thing. People need to do what they like. So don't. So you try and like change my preaching or like contradict it and stuff. Well, I don't know. If you don't, maybe it's better just to say, well, I don't like to hear what Gohari's saying right now. I'm going to go and listen to something else. Instead of have to come up here and trying to change what I'm doing. What are you doing for there? Actually, it's like, oh, you don't want to hear, just, don't hear. I have to be myself. I spend too much time sitting like a pigeon, listening to the Yes Guru trip. No, just tell me when you're going to start reading the Gopi Bhav life. Yeah. Um, yeah. Anyway, whatever, because, there's other devotees doing more of that. Okay, whatever, man. I'm back. So back to the story. Yeah. Therefore, the reason for his quitting the house was not exactly, yeah. Yeah. So the bottom line is, just if you don't like this, too bad for you. You lose. I'm enjoying this. If they're enjoying it, so we're on a page. Okay. Let's see. Therefore, the reason for his quitting the house was not exactly family misunderstanding. Rather, Vidura took the opportunity to meet Rishi Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge. For a saintly person like Vidura, any disturbance due to worldly affairs is insignificant. For a saintly person like Vidura, any disturbance due to worldly affairs is insignificant. Such disturbance, however, are sometimes favorable for higher realization, and therefore Vidura took advantage of a family misunderstanding in order to meet Maitreya Rishi. See, and so actually we have our stuff too going on here. This is like little family misunderstanding, right? So you take advantage of that for understanding deeper truth. His devotees are like that. It's all in relationship to the Lord. I mean, I find this stuff really fascinating and interesting how this all, I'm understanding the Bhagavatam concepts so much better because of what's going on now. I mean, man, I see it's like I'm right there in Prahlad Maharaj's time, or the time when Krishna appeared, because it's like a living recreation of that. And everything is there. All the elements are there. You notice that? All the elements of the demons fighting the demigods, and then we got this devotional um, preaching here. Just like with Prahlad, there's no difference. Same elements. The demons are all doing, they're destroying everything, and the demigods are fighting to bring back the mode of goodness of maintenance. See, they want to maintain what was here, and the demons are out destroying it. Yeah, and we're out preaching these devotional concepts. Isn't it nice? I love it, man. It's so like classroom. It's like, we're right there in learning, really learning all this. And people are learning too. Yeah. Could see it even in Christians. They're in their heyday. They love this stuff. They love, oh, this is the end times. We've been waiting for this. Waiting for all this activity, and the conspiracy theorists. Oh man, it's their time too. They loving this. Oh, we got all their podcasts. They're really into it, man. And the demons are really into it, man. Everybody's going for everything with gusto, and we are also going to our thing with gusto, man. Right? Every day we have Sadhu Sunday, yeah, devotional service, man. The fifth goal of life. Everybody's taking their positions. Isn't it great to have a position in this? You know what you're here to do, huh? Fantastic, man. And we're here to preach what we're really passionate about, what we really love. Shama-san, that preaching is really amazing. I am grateful that I can hear you so clearly today. Huh. Yeah. Great. I must go to work. I will put my headphones. Okay, Shama-san, thank you for coming, making your appearance. Mwah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. Okay. Next verse. The king asked Sukadev Goswami, where and when did the meeting and discussion take place between Saint Vidura and His Grace Maitreya Muni? Kindly oblige, my lord, and describe this to us. Purport. So, and this is the mood of a devotee. My lord. You see, he's saying he knows Shukadev, or who is he? Maitreya is a devotee. He said, my lord. See? This is the devotional service. You see that a person that is qualified, there's like your Lord. I say to Jesus, you're my Lord. Prabhupada, my Lord. All Vaishnavas are my Lord. Wherever the Lord is working, the devotees consider, my Lord. See? That's the mood. That's where you can relish mellows. If you want to be equal with the devotee, boom, you lose the real path. You're off of it. See? Back into the false ego, wanting name and fame and to be important and all that. It's false ego. You got off at the wrong stop. Okay. Purport. Exactly as Sanaka Rishi inquired of Shuta Goswami, and Sutta Goswami replied, so Sri Shukadev Goswami replied to King Parikshit inquiries. The king was very anxious to understand the meaningful discussion that took place from the two great souls. See, that's a devotee. They're very eager to hear these discussions. They're eager to relish them, to taste them. You know, that's a devotee. That's where the purification is. If you don't want to hear, you don't like to hear these discussions, relish. It's like, isn't it amazing? It's like recreating that same time when this discussion went, and you can taste it just like they did. See, that's devotional service. That's what you get here. That's the treasure you get here. See? It's not only this be here now mode of goodness thing. See? It's be here in eternal relationships now. And you can taste what Vidura tasted and Maitreya tasted and what Lord Chaitanya tasted and the other devotees tasted and Haridas tasted. Lalita was commenting on this. See? This is the treasure. See? Non-devotees cannot partake of this sacrifice. See? No devotion, real devotion, you can't partake of this sacrifice. This spiritual power, this spiritual revelation, this ability to bust the bonds of birth and death. They didn't know it. Birth, death, Yamaraj, demons, demigods. They have no power over devotees. They're the warden to get them out of the prison. Yeah. All right. Purport by His Divine Grace. Oh, no. Translation. So if Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his questions to His Grace Maitreya must have been very purposeful, on the highest level, and approved by learned circles. Purport. Questions and answers among different classes of men have different value. Inquiries by mercantile men in a business exchange cannot be expected to be highly purposeful in spiritual values. Questions and answers by different classes of men can be guessed by the caliber of the persons concerned. See, that's why you see what we're doing here. These discussions are on the highest platform of devotional service. This is these kinds of you cannot speak on these topics. You can't even inquire on them. You can't even ask questions. You can't even make comments unless you're empowered. You know? That's why often the devotees will pose the questions and then answer them until people come up to the speed. Bhakti Vinod was doing that. It's very hard to inquire. You need to be purified. You know? That's why, we have people here that do make comments and discuss and all that. That's amazing. It's fantastic. This is where people can learn real devotional service. You ever go to these classes and, in these like mass, like ISKCON, everybody sit there and the speaker's speaking. Where are the questions? Hardly any time for any room for them. And it's all kind of about ceremonies and rules and regulations. You're not this body and everything, even though nobody can get over that one. Here, you get over, I'm not this body. You know how we get over it here? You get a taste for spiritual topics. You get really a taste for these things, and you realize you're not this body.
Yeah, because you develop your spiritual body, and then suddenly you say, now I know what it means.
Yeah. Well, this is food for the spiritual body. when your spiritual body is awakened, and only any real practical possibility for that is to be in association with those whose spiritual bodies are awakened. This guy is so doggone simple, logical. People, they don't know whose spiritual body is awakened. They don't even know what are the qualities of an awakened spiritual body. It's all in the books, So anyway, those who are ready to understand Chaitanya Charitamrita, then they'll go and they'll listen to these classes. I mean, Janaki gave her friend 5 years ago Chaitanya Charitamrita book set. He still hasn't read them. And he can't get in his own mind. God, we're reading that book and discussing these deep principles all the time. And he can't listen. He can't. He's not ready to listen. And that's most of Vaishnavism is like that. Even though we're doing what they can't do. We have 4-hour classes here discussing Chaitanya Leela principles. Very simple, very profound, very intimate, very ecstatic. And people, they're not interested, or they can't even, they think they know more than this. That's false ego. I only mention it because somebody maybe will be in those circles and realize, wow, this is making more sense than that. False ego means you don't understand things as they are. You usually do the opposite of what you should do. See, that goes for everybody in this material universe. There people are doing more or less the opposite of what they should do. I mean, to get the highest benefit. That's why you see we have our place here. This is here to preach like this from the top of the mountain. This is like the eagle's view. What people hear here. You want to go to the top of the mountain, you have to hear the call, the discussions from top of the mountain. Okay? Otherwise, you're hearing people that are doing the opposite of what they should do, more or less. If you're in the mode of ignorance, you destroy the world. You set these forests on fires like they're doing now. That's what the mode of ignorance does. It burns everything. See? It burns what previously was here. It destroys everything. That's what these persons are doing now. See? And the others are trying to maintain the material status quo that was here before. See? Because that's what the goodness does. Wants to maintain, right? Create and maintain. See? Passion and goodness. Goodness maintains, passion creates. See, so we got this little war going, and these demons want to destroy everything because that's what they do. They like to, that's their nature, create havoc. See, and yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I also feel the mode of goodness destroys also. The mode of goodness also destroys a lot of purity.
How does it do that?
By conservation, by education, it takes away the original character of people. It takes away. It's also it's about confirmation and putting people into tubes and not letting them free. It's original character.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking. See, that's just the mode of goodness maintains, but it's still mundane. See, it's still mundane. So when I'm saying more or less, everybody doesn't know exactly what. See, what we the high standard, the ultimate standard, is to know that we are devotees of God and that we get empowered from the Lord. That like in this relationship. See, that's perfection. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate revelation, is loving God. There's nothing beyond that. All you do is, like we're showing, going deeper into that. Elon Musk doesn't know that. Even with all his intelligence, he don't know that. He thinks, well, let's do, technologically connect our minds with some AI thing, and then we're going to be augmented. You see, that's kind of, they think this is perfection. Yeah, let's go to Mars. Let's spend all this money and time and energy, for that kind of thing, a technological evolution. But all it's doing is people are becoming more and more materialistic. See? Because you're expanding in a material direction. You can go infinitely in that, like materially. It's all ignorance. See, that's the thing. It's all ignorance. So people are more or less doing ignorant things. Only the devotees are. What are we doing? We're going deeper into the truth. See, this is holiness. It's all about holiness, wholeness. We're not whole until we connect with our source. The source is eternal. That source is that Son of God. God is our source. Until we connect with that, we're in ignorance. Elon Musk is ignorant. I only, as I say, I'm just not trying to criticize, we just got to personify things so we can understand this. Got to understand that's ignorance. It's not, people are praying, oh, Elon Musk, you're so great. No, it's ignorance still. See, people are praising the wrong thing. This is our preaching here. This is our forte. People can't distinguish like this. That's not transcendental. He's not transcendental. Trump's not transcendental. People are praising things that are going to keep them in the cycle of birth and death. So if people, go ahead there, Lolita.
Yeah, that's why that's why God said to Adam and Eve, don't eat from that tree, from good and bad, because then you are out of the paradise, because you are not transcendental anymore. You focus on something else, something lower.
Yeah, material. Don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, the knowledge is ignorance. This is good, this is evil, this is good, this is evil. See, you get freed from that consciousness when you relish mellows and you relish the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden again. That's why devotees become more carefree, more happy-go-lucky, and not so interested in these worldly things, because they live in another way, another lifestyle, relishing intimacy with God. See, that's back in the garden. Isn't that what they had? Isn't that what that code? That's a code. What was going on in the garden? There were the devotees, right? There was Adam and Eve and God, and they were just intimate, and they're very happy. And then they ate from the knowledge of good and evil, and that's what's preached in the world. People are praising good and evil people. Sometimes they're tricked into praising evil people as good. I mean, all kinds of crazy things going on in ignorance. See, we're here. Hey, man, let's go back to the garden. Who's ready? Let's come. You got to relish intimacy with the Lord. Okay? That's the Garden of Eden and also Vrindavan. It's the same thing in essence. Vrindavan is just a more clear explanations. In that garden, there are people, there are relationships, there's the Lord, his devotees, and many different types. It's not in that explanation of there's only God and then Adam and Eve, and that's it. Come on, that'd be pretty boring, right? Can you imagine? People think that's all there. Oh yeah, just Adam and Eve were there, and the Lord, and nobody knows exactly how the Lord looked. Right? It was kind of like just some faceless God that had a voice. Don't eat that apple. All codes. See, Vrindavan helps explain these things more. Hey, man, the Lord's there, Krishna, and Radha's there, and all these gopis and other members of the family of different relationships. It's fabulous, man. You can taste these relationships and relish them. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah. In Bhagavad Gita, the discussion was between the Lord, Sri Krishna, and Arjuna, the Supreme Person, respectively. The Lord admitted Arjuna to be his devotee and friend. So the Lord admitted Arjuna to be his devotee and friend. So that's it, man. You want to be a friend of the devotees and a friend of God, you got to become a devotee and friend of a devotee. They're the trainer here. That's the bona fide spiritual master. If you don't have transcendental ras, you need that kind of Shiksha guru, and most people don't, do they? They think they're going to do it on their own. That is so stupid. That's dumb. These Ritviks, they can't taste the transcendental ras. These living gurus can't either. I haven't seen anyone. The dry eyes, all dry eyes. All of them, man. Dry eyes! That is not Krishna consciousness. They need, if they, any of them want to become a devotee, become a friend of God, the Lord will send you a bona fide Shiksha guru, and you listen to them, and just naturally you'll become a devotee and friend. You'll see they know zillion times more than you because they're more connected to the source. And if you can't admit that, that's false ego. You just die with that covering. That's why these people, they become Vaidhi Bhaktas and they die Vaidhi Bhaktas until they get this kind of shiksha. In some lifetime, you have to meet some devotee like this who'll tell you the birds and the bees. If you don't listen, you'll never become a friend of God, because you got to be a real devotee and be purified. And then you enter into friendship with that devotee and just naturally a friend of God, just like that's how it works. That's a disciplic line. See, you got to have the empowered representative act like Krishna did with Arjuna in relationship. They stand in for the Lord. They represent that same Krishna that was on the battlefield. And when you are like that, and like here, it's apparent between a real guru and a real disciple. Yes, I'm a devotee of this guru, and he is my friend. If you don't feel like that, you haven't got the opportunity to be delivered yet. Okay, now let's.
Can I speak?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel there are so many possible obstacles. There are so many obstacles to transfer your energy, your connection from the modes of nature to the pureness we are talking about here. There can be so many obstacles. For everyone, it's different, it's individual. People are attached to their comfort zones in a lot of individual own ways.
Yeah.
But still, the solution is very simple. The solution is to tune in to this sangha, to this association, and in that way, the solution is simple.
Yeah. Well, what are we discussing? Krishna, God, our relationship with the Lord. See, these topics are for the highest welfare of the world. This is because of that. Most people are not discussing like this. They leave God right out of the picture. You notice that? Go look on Facebook. Look at these people. They leave God right out of the picture. Don't even discuss him. Even though the Lord is the most important thing that they can connect with. The transcendental Lord. They're connecting with the illusory dark lord, the dark, this dark lord of the modes of nature, passion, ignorance, goodness. See, they're relating to that. See, and therefore they stay in illusion. They stay in birth and death. They take another birth, another death. See? These topics here are for the highest welfare of the world. That's why they're so difficult to understand. People are not used to hearing these things. They're used to just talking about illusions. They think illusions are truth. See, that's even in the mode of goodness, people think illusion is truth. Mode of goodness is still illusion. See, don't partake. God said to Adam and Eve, don't eat from the tree of good. You see, good and evil. The knowledge of good and evil. See, knowledge means, oh, this is good, this is evil. This is all life is all about. This is good, this is evil. That's a Brahman level. That's why Lord Chaitanya says you want to go on, you can't, if that's what you believe is all reality and that's your reality, this is good, this is evil, I'm a Brahmin, then you cannot purify yourself or anybody else. Only talks like this. Why? See? Because we point out, hey man, that's good and evil. That ain't going to deliver you. You need to go on. You need to know what is really purifying. That's the truth. See? This is the truth, not this good and evil truth. Hey, you're evil. Look at you. You're liar, cheating, and deceiving people. Of course, that they're evil. And you're good because you say, oh, no, you're not supposed to do that. Right? This is evil. And so the evil fights the good. Yeah, and we come with a message, don't partake of, are you ready to stop partaking of the tree of good and evil? Hear this truth. Hear transcendental knowledge that comes from ecstatic relish of the transcendental name, kissing the Lord by chanting his name in ecstasy. Come hear that knowledge. It's transcendental. You'll transcend that the knowledge of good and evil and those fights that keep giving you more births and deaths. See, this is why it says yesterday, the highest discussions about Krishna are for the highest welfare, benefit of others. See? It awakens people's spiritual body. We all got one, demons and demigods. Anybody who'll listen to these talks, Vaidhi Bhaktas, you'll go from Vaidhi to Raganuga to spontaneous love in one life. Probably. I say probably, depends how deeply you're immersed in this world. But even if you just become attracted as you are, I don't care. Mode of ignorance, mode of good, and mode of passion, sannyasi, saint, sinner, demon, demi, whatever you are. You can surpass every obstacle in this world here. Okay? You won't have to go to the spiritual world. It'll be here in your consciousness. The Lord will come and go, just like you read. The Lord will come and go in your own house. And it feels, man, it's really great to have that association. That's the liberated stage, man. People can get that here. This is very rarely available anywhere. That's why you just gotta tell people what is. They don't know what is. Everybody's telling them what isn't. They say what isn't is truth, and I say no. That's just what isn't. That isn't the full truth, man. This is full. See, complete. See? Nothing. Nothing. That's why these talks are so long, usually. Only an hour and 45 minutes. Short. Not so long yet. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I feel it's important to know that you don't have to lose your own identity. You don't have to lose in this transfer from the modes of goodness and passion and ignorance to the pure, original connection with Krishna, you don't have to lose your own identity, your own character. It's just purifying and takes you to a deeper level of connection with the Lord.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
find your own
This
character.
fear,
Find
this I feel that there's this. It can be something fearful that I don't want to lose my identity, my original position, but it just improves your own role and or your own specific connection from your heart with Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
just the upgrade. It's the upgrade. And it's natural. See, the fearfulness is this Brahman thing of wanting to dissolve and merge. That's why even devotees, they don't want this merging thing where you merge and they have no service. See, this chanting Hare Krishna is just a simple way of serving the Lord in such a great way, because if people will take this up, they very easily will attain this liberated state where when you chant with this taste and this ecstasy and this intimacy, that's it. Now you're delivered. See, and this is sped up when you're chanting with people that are that intimate with God. That's what's going on here. That's why you see people, serious ones, that come, just very quickly. They get this. See? Otherwise, you're chanting, okay, it's fine. You got a lot of people there. The masses of Vaishnavas, they're not at this stage that the devotees here, many of the devotees here are at. And if people understood, oh, let's see, if I go chant with devotees who are that ecstatic, I'm going to make mega advancement. See, I'm going to hear things because of their Bhagavad Gita 10:10 consciousness of worshiping the Lord with intimacy and ecstasy like that. They're going to have an understanding that I can really benefit from that I don't have yet. You see why Jesus said, only the Father knows the Son, only the Son knows the Father, and the Son can reveal the Father to whom he chooses. See, whoever the Lord chooses to be here and listen, see, you can understand the true nature of the Father. Isn't that what we do? We're teaching true nature of the God. How to realize that, Lord? What is the most effective way? All this stuff comes from intimate worship of the Lord. You cannot get this from these gurus who don't worship like this. They don't know. That's why you see. How do you know they don't know? They never talk about this. They're not actually experiencing this. It's only understood by intimacy. That's the bona fide spiritual master. Very intimate, confidential servant of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, and the Parampara. This is why people, they think, how stupid you are to come and challenge this teachings here that is based on such intimate worship of God that people can even see with their own eyes. How can anybody challenge it unless you're like that? It's like a sword, an expert swordsman, and a person says, I'm going to challenge you. And you never did it. You never trained to be a swordsman. That's what's going on in the world. These gurus are like that, to be honest with you. They're like, they don't know how to pick up a sword and wield it. They don't have the training. They can't pull the sword out of the Bhagavatam. See? That's it. They can't, they're not empowered to pull the truth, the confidential truth out of Bhagavatam and slice up Maya so you set the captives free. They can't do that. If you can do that, that means you got an intimate relationship with God, because only they can do that. Only they're empowered by the Lord. They're the handle, and the Lord is the axe. See? That's self-realization. That's real guru. Go ahead there, Tom.
Yeah. When someone is conditioned by rules and regulations, it's very hard to be spontaneous.
Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. So how can you be spontaneous when you're conditioned by anything? Hey, read this, Tom.
Amanarayan. Today on Harinam, we met an ISKCON devotee who said he was not getting enough purification from temples. So we said to him, as part of the purification process, you must keep watching this Sangha as it is through Krishna. Through Krishna, one gets Guru, and through Guru, one gets Krishna.
Yeah. That's how it is. Who is this here? Let's see here. Okay. All right. So, Lalita, why don't you read us some Chaitanya Bhagavat or something? Whatever
Okay.
you want. Whatever you feel like reading, you read.
No idea.
Chaitanya Bhagavat's good because we all got one here. So most of
Okay.
us.
Still Haridas Thakur or something else?
Something different.
Okay. Give me a tip.
Okay, I'll give you a tip. Let's see here. Madhyakanda chapter chapter 25. Madhyakanda chapter 25.
Oh, the dead son of Srivas Pandita elucidates the truth.
Good.
Elucidates.
Elucidates. Makes it
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh, glories to you, Guru Maharaj. Oh, glories to you. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada, to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Oh, glories to Jagannath Babaji, to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to Lord Nityananda, to Lord Chaitanya, to Srimati Radharani, and all glories to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glory to Sri Gaurachandra, the Lord of the entire universe. He is the crown jewel of the Brahmanas, the perfect, renunciate, and supreme amongst all the Vedic personalities. He is an ocean of compassion who has appeared like a brilliant gem out of the womb of the blessed Mother Sachi. All glory to Sri Vishvambara and Sri Nityananda. All glory to their devotees and their associates. One attains the highest perfection of life by constantly hearing the narrations of Sri Chaitanya's transcendental pastimes. These topics of the Navadvip Lila, as recorded in the Madhya Kanda, are like an ocean of nectar. The Lord was always engrossed in Sankirtan, relishing the taste of his own transcendental name. Being thus intoxicated, he exhibited all the symptoms of ecstasy, and so he revealed his supra-mundane opulences. The sweet ambrosia of Krishna Prem led the Lord to act like a madman. The Lord, whose body is the object of even Lord Brahma's worship, was besmeared with dust from rolling upon the ground. The devotees satiated their vision by seeing the Lord submerged in an ocean of divine bliss. In the times when he emerged out of his blissful states of unconsciousness, he would sometimes sit surrounded by his associates and at other times go to the Ganga to take a bath. On some occasions, after dancing for a long time, the Lord would sit with his devotees, who would then give him a shower with Ganga water. One of the maidservants of Srivasa Pandita, named Duki, would carry all the Ganga water for the Lord's bath, while the Lord was still engaged in dancing. She would watch the beautiful form of the Lord dancing in the highest spiritual exaltation, and tears would well up in drops from her eyes. And then she would go out again to bring more pots of Ganga water for his bath. When the Lord saw the water pots full of Ganga water, neatly arranged in rows, he was very pleased. He inquired about this form. Oh no, he inquired about this from Srivasa Pandita. Who brings the Ganga water daily? Srivasa replied, Duki, the maidservant, brings them daily. The Lord said, then you all should rename her Suki, happy, instead of Duki, which means sad. The name Duki is not befitting her. I think Suki is the most appropriate name for her. The devotees were moved with tears upon seeing the unlimited mercy of the Lord upon this poor maidservant. From that time, they began to call her Suki, and Srivasa Pandita also stopped regarding and treating her as a maidservant.
Mm-hmm. Are you into reading this one? Or you want to read some? Huh?
Not so much.
Then read something else.
Okay, can I go to the toilet for 5 minutes?
Yes, you can. Yes. Go for there, and then I'll have, in the meantime, we'll chant Hare Krishna. Yeah, let's try this with him.
Bluetooth connect.
Whoa, sorry about that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
All right. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So you choose some book there, and in the meantime, we'll chant a little Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hey, mute your mic there, River. I think it's better. It's a little bit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Okay, go ahead, Lalita. Read what you like.
Yeah, just, well, it's how do you call it? Gambling. The Vyasaputra, or no, the Vyasaputra of Sri Nityananda.
Yeah, whatever you like to read. Read.
Is it okay?
Yeah, of course it's okay.
Or the Unlimited Glories of Sri Nityananda? Maybe that one. Yeah,
Whatever you have.
I think that one. I don't know this book that good to know, but it appears. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay. The Unlimited Glories of Sri Nityananda. All glories, to Lord Gaurachandra, the life and soul of all the living entities. May my memory constantly embrace his lotus feet. Within his heart, Lord Nityananda was certain that Sri Vishvambara, who now stood before him, was none other than his beloved Supreme Lord. Overwhelmed with bliss. Lord Nityananda Prabhu was stunned in ecstasy. He stared unblinkingly at the beautiful face of the Lord. Upon seeing the bewilderingly beautiful form of the Lord, Nityananda wanted to taste the beauty with his tongue, drink the beauty with his eyes, and embrace the beauty with his arms, and absorb the beauty with his nose. To everyone's astonishment, Lord Nityananda stood speechless. Completely enchanted by the wondrous splendor of the Lord. Lord Gaurachandra is a super soul within everyone's heart. And therefore, he knew Lord Nityananda's heart, and thus Gaurachandra acted to reveal his hidden identity to Lord Nityananda. And, and the depth of Nityananda's devotion to the Lord, wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, flowers, blue carnicara on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and a white Jayanti garland. Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers. As he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints, he filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips. And the cowherd boys, they sang his glories. The Lord indicated to Srivasa Pandita to recite a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21, verse 5. Srivasa understood and immediately recited the sloka, which describes the beauty of Krishna. At that time, Krishna he entered the forest of Vrindavan dressed as the greatest of dancers. A peacock feather was strutted into his crown, and his ears were decorated with hanging blue carnicara flowers. His golden yellow dress glistened as he wore the effulgent Vaijanta jewel around his neck. The land that carries the land that carries the impressions of his lotus feet, the conch shell, the disc, the lotus, and the club that is Vrindavan. His place of transcendental pastimes, Vrindavan. His place of transcendental pastimes. To his lips he touched the flute, which filled with nectar as he played an enchanting melody. And at the same time, his coward boyfriends they sang of his beauty and glories. And as soon as Nityananda Prabhu heard this verse, he fell down unconscious. While Lord Nityananda lay in ecstatic bliss, Lord Chaitanya exhorted Srivasa Pandita, recite more, recite more. And after some time, Nityananda Prabhu regained his external consciousness And he began, and he began crying. Tears of joy. And the more he heard the verses, the more they increased his mad love for Krishna, his ecstatic roaring filled the universe and pierced and pierced through the covering of this material world. Lord Nityananda leaped up, and as he crashed down to the ground, everyone thought that the bone of his body were smashed. Seeing this, the Vaishnavas became very afraid, and they loudly uttered, "Krishna, please save him! Krishna, please save him!" Lord Nityananda rolled on the ground, his body covered with tears of love. Long and recurrent sighs, sighs escaped his mouth as he looked deep into as he looked deep into Lord Vishwambara's face. Lord Nityananda, he felt great ecstasy. And often he laughed aloud. Sometimes he jumped and he danced. And sometimes he wrestled, and at other times he hung his head quietly. At Gorachandra and all. Lord Gorachandra and all the devotees began to cry in joy, seeing such total absorption and madness in love of Krishna. It became impossible for the Vaishnavas to hold Nityananda Prabhu still. And when the devotees failed, Lord Vishwambara held Nityananda Prabhu in an embrace. As soon as Chaitanya embraced Nityananda, Nityananda immediately became still. The Lord, to whom he was absolutely surrendered, now embraced him. Nityananda Prabhu allowed him to be held without endeavor. Lord Chaitanya floated Lord Nityananda with ecstatic tears. With ecstatic tears of love. The arrow of ecstatic love of Krishna had afflicted Nityananda and Chaitanya, held him just as Ramachandra had held Lakshmana when he lay unconscious, drained of all strength. Both Nityananda both Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya wept. Overwhelmed with joy at the intensity of love between Chaitanya and Nityananda can be properly described only by the example of the loving relationship between Ramachandra and Lakshmana. When Nityananda came out of his ecstatic trance, all the devotees began lightly chanting Lord Hari's name. Vishvambara was embracing Nityananda and Gadadhara Pandita smiled. Thinking how their lordships' roles had been reversed, he thought, Nityananda Prabhu and Sananta Sesa render service to Lord Vishvambara by becoming the bed upon which Lord Narayana always rests.
Hey, River, do you want to read a little bit too?
I don't know if I'll be able to, Maharaj.
Okay, then continue on there, Lalita.
Okay. Lord, where was I? Nityananda Prabhu, as Ananta says, I render service to Lord Vishvambara by becoming the bed upon which Lord Narayana always rests. However, today his pride as a servitor has been broken. And he lies in Vishvambara's embrace. Gadadhara Pandita was well aware of Nityananda's potencies as a Supreme Lord. Nityananda Prabhu knew the innermost the innermost thoughts of Gadadhara Pandita. All the devotees were jubilant upon meeting Lord Nityananda, and their minds were steeped in thoughts of him. The ecstasy that Vishvambara and Nityananda experienced in their meeting is impossible to portray through words, but it found expression in the continuous tears of joy from their eyes that drenched the earth. Lord Vishvambara said, This is the most glorious day of our life. Today I have seen the embodiment of loving devotion to the Supreme Lord, the essence of the four Vedas. Only the Supreme Lord himself, he can manifest such intense ecstasy. The fortunate souls who were able to see his loving devotion will never be rejected by Lord Krishna. Now, I understand that you, Lord Nityananda, are the full-fledged manifestations of the Lord's energy. You are. You are not different from him. The living entities can obtain loving devotional service at the lotus feet of Krishna simply by worshipping you. You purify the entire cosmic manifestation. You purify the entire cosmic manifestation. And your transcendental, your transcendental nature is inconceivable, incomprehensible, and esoteric. Only for intimacy, actually. You are the personification of the highest ecstatic love of Krishna. I love it. Even a moment's association with you can dissolve millions and millions of sins. I can now understand that Lord Krishna intends to purify and redeem me as He's giving me your association. It's my great fortune that I am able to see your lotus feet. I know that if I worship your lotus feet, then I will surely receive love of Krishna. Unaware of the passing of time, Guru Sundara was absorbed in glorifying Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda and Chaitanya had infinite exchanges, but they were very confidential. So they conversed in gestures and signals that were known only to themselves. The Lord then asked Nityananda Prabhu, I'm hesitant to ask you from which direction you have come. Lord Nityananda was always absorbed, and he spoke like an innocent, restless child. He understood that Lord Nityananda and that Lord Chaitanya had descended to this material world. Thus, when he replied, he did so with folded hands and great humility. He had felt very ashamed and shy when Lord Vishwabhara was glorifying him. And so through gestures, words and indications, he explained everything in detail. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he said, I extensively toured all places of pilgrimage, but I could see only the place and not Krishna, the Supreme Lord. I also good people why their altars were standing empty. I don't see him in his own place. I said, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where did he go? And they all replied, Krishna has gone to Godadasa, Bengal. He was in Gaya recently, and not so long ago he returned to Bengal. When I came to Nadia, I was greeted by jubilant chanting of the Lord's holy name. And someone told me that Lord Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has appeared here. I have heard that in Nadia, even the most wretched fallen souls could get liberation. Thus being such an abominable wretch, I have come here. Lord Vishwabhara said, we are most fortunate that a devotee such as yourself is among us now. Moreover, we are very grateful to the Lord that today we have seen your ecstatic tears of love for Krishna. Murari Gupta smiled and he said, we cannot enter the confidential discussions between Nityananda and Vishwabhara. It's too intimate, too confidential. Srivasa Pandita said, how can we understand their intimate exchanges are just like Lord Hari's with Lord Shiva? Gadadhara Pandita said, you are quite right. Oh, Pandita, they seem to be exactly like Ramachandra and Lakshmana. Another Vaishnava said, they look as if they are two cupids. And someone else said, they are Balaram and Krishna. Another said, I don't have much knowledge, but from what I have seen, it appears that Krishna has taken Ananta says, Ananta says in his arms. Someone else commented, they are like two friends. Their loving, affectionate exchange is just like the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna. Others were saying they seem to know each other very intimately. And thus they can converse with words and gestures that they alone can understand. Does the devotees express their joy at having Lord Nityananda amongst them? giving their different opinions. Anyone who hears about the meeting of Nityananda and Gaurachandra is surely freed from material bondage. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he serves Lord Chaitanya in every way. As a friend, as his umbrella, his bed, or as his carrier. Lord Nityananda alone can render all these services. He serves Lord Chaitanya in multifarious ways, according to his own sweet will. Others can also become eligible to serve the Lord, but only by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu's glories are unlimited. No, no one can fully know him. Even Sri Mahadeva, who is the greatest yogi, a pure devotee, and himself a controller in this material energy, cannot fully fathom the limits of Lord Nityananda's transcendental nature. If one criticizes or offends Nityananda Prabhu, not knowing his sublime transcendental attributes, then, although one is constitutionally an eternal servant of Krishna, one becomes forever rejected from the path of devotional service to Sri Vishnu. Lord Nityananda is the object of Lord Chaitanya's complete love. My heart's desire is that Lord Nityananda will reside in my heart. As the most beloved Lord and Master. And by His grace, I have developed attachment and attraction for Lord Chaitanya. It's by His order that I write these wonderful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And just as Raghunatha and Yadunatha are different names for the same person, similarly, the names Nityananda and Baladeva indicate the same person, one who desires to cross over this ocean of nations and drown in the nectarian ambrosia of Krishna Prem. And drown in the nectarian ambrosia of Krishna Prem, he must take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Whosoever attentively glorifies these wonderful pastimes will be blessed by Sri Vishvambara along with all his associates. The name of Sri Vishvambara is extremely rare and precious in this world and indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the life and soul of everyone's transcendental love. Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda Prabhu are my life and my soul. I, Vrindavan Das, humbly offer this song at their lotus feet. This is the end of this chapter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Guru Maharaj, did you fall asleep? I think so. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He fell asleep, I think. It was a lullaby. What shall we do now? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hey, you
Krishna.
want to read Tom a little bit?
Tom?
Yes, I can read.
Okay, read whatever you want.
Okay. I like to just open the book and then start from that chapter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. I already feel this release from rules and regulations. Just be spontaneous myself. Thank you, Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari, Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari, Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Guru Haridas, Jai beautiful Lalita Ganga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, this is actually, it's not the beginning of the chapter. It's the end of the chapter. Hare Krishna. This is Madhyakanda chapter 23. Let all the atheists who criticize Sri Nityananda be very careful, lest they be kicked in the head. Let all the atheists who criticize Sri Nityananda be very careful, lest they be kicked in the head. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. I offer my obeisances at the feet of this dear most devotee of Lord Chaitanya. May he eternally be my Lord and Master. Oh my God. I offer my obeisances at the feet of this dear most devotee of Lord Chaitanya. May he eternally be my Lord and Master. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh yes. Oh, this is so welcome, so nice. I can know Sri Nityananda only. I can know Sri Nityananda only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya. And I can know Sri Chaitanya only if Sri Nityananda reveals him to me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Wow, Hare Krishna again. I can know Sri Nityananda only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya. And I know Sri Chaitanya only if Sri Nityananda reveals him to me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Wow. Chaitanya is Rama. Chaitanya is Rama. Oh yes. Chaitanya is Rama. And Nityananda is Lakshman. Chaitanya is Rama and Nityananda is Lakshman. Chaitanya is Krishna and Nityananda is Sankarsana. Chaitanya is Krishna and Nityananda is Sankarsana. Nityananda possesses the power to fully satisfy. Yes, yes, yes. Nityananda possesses the power to fully satisfy Sri Chaitanya. Oh, yes. Nityananda possesses the power to fully satisfy Sri Chaitanya with his transcendental service, with his transcendental service, with his transcendental service. And the intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya are in full knowledge of the extraordinary position of Nityananda. Again, Nityananda possesses the power to fully satisfy Sri Chaitanya with his transcendental service, and the intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya are in full knowledge of the extraordinary position of Nityananda. Wow. But at times, one may see a certain elevated devotee disagreeing and quarreling with other devotees. But at times, one may see a certain elevated devotee disagreeing and quarreling with other devotees. This is transcendental. This is transcendental and is happening by the desire of Sri Krishna. Wow. This is transcendental and is happening by the desire of Krishna. So, but at times one may see a certain elevated devotee disagreeing and quarreling with other devotees. This is transcendental and is happening by the desire of Sri Krishna. Since they are all the most elevated Vaishnavas, since they are all the most elevated Vaishnavas, no one should side with any party. Since they are all the most elevated Vaishnavas, no one should side with any party, because, and in so doing, one will certainly make some offense against a Vaishnava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So again, since they are all the most elevated Vaishnavas, no one should side with any party, because, and in so doing, one will certainly make some offense against a Vaishnava. One can only become a true Vaishnava by serving Krishna and not finding faults in others. One can only become a true Vaishnava by serving Krishna and not finding faults in others. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. May I remain attached to his dear servitors. May I remain attached to his dear servitors. All glory to Sri Chaitanya along with all his associates. All glory to Sri Chaitanya along with all his associates. These narrations about his pastimes reward one with the highest devotional mood. These narrations about his pastimes reward one with the highest devotional mood. If one sides with Advaita against Gadadhar Pandit, then due to his imbecilic act, one is never allowed shelter by Advaita Acharya as his devotee. Hare Krishna. If one sides with Advaita against Gadadhar Pandit, then due to this imbecilic act, one is never allowed shelter by Advaita Acharya as his devotee. The transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the purest. The transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the purest form of divine ambrosia. The transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the purest form of divine, purest form of divine ambrosia. The transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the purest form of divine ambrosia. I pray that these unlimited pastimes increasingly appear in the midst of all living beings. I pray that these unlimited pastimes increasingly appear in the minds of all beings, all living beings. One who desires joy from hearing these narrations will surely see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya directly. One who desires joy from hearing these narrations will surely see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya directly. Jai. One who desires joy from hearing these narrations will surely see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya directly. Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Shri Nityananda are my life and soul. Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Shri Nityananda are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, offer this song at their lotus feet. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare. This is the ending of this chapter. I'm finished. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Wow.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Jai Nityananda, Jai Nityananda.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Jai
Rama,
Nityananda.
Hare
Jai Nityananda.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Oh, it's so wonderful to hear Srila Gauranga.
Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
So wonderful to hear.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Beautiful Ganga.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Aha.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Hare Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Rama
Okay, I think we'll go off for a little bit here. And
Okay.
guys, yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you a little bit later, huh? Yeah.